Hey guys, happy Saturday here from Charleston, South Carolina. In this video, I just want to talk about a couple random things related to motherhood and having kids. Um, oh my gosh, my family and I are just getting over like the plague. We've been so sick I've been sick for 3 weeks now. This stuff is rough. This is not easy. Um, but I am super blessed and lucky to be living in this beautiful spot here in Charleston. We live about 10 minutes from the beach, minus traffic, and I'm just super blessed and lucky to be living where I live. Um, you know, all things considered, my son's healthy, my family's healthy. We're gonna get through this, but we had, I still am recovering from hand, foot, and mouth disease. I guess adults can get that too. So we've been struggling with hand, foot, and mouth disease. I had pink eye. My son and I both had an ear infection. My boyfriend had like a stomach bug. Like we've literally had it all. And it's been going on for 3 weeks now. I feel so bad. I had to like call out of work. I had to get like an extended work leave. This has been a rough couple of weeks. So I think we've turned the corner now and I'm kind of enjoying a little bit of nice weather out on my porch here. Um, but yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks, and we were sick like all winter. So I hate to just get on here and complain, but I mean we had sicknesses that were going on ever since my son started in daycare in like late January. We were sick with something like every other week. So from January, February, March, we had a little bit of a break between kind of late March and April, and then we were sick again. And it's been hard. So, for anyone that's going through this right now, you're not alone. And for any other moms out there, you know, I would love to hear how do things get better? Because I keep hearing that when your kid starts in daycare, they're going to get sick and then they build up their immunity and then from there it gets better. So, I'm hoping that it gets better. Um, but I'm also kind of hoping that now that summertime is here, that maybe um, there's going to be less like bugs going around. I'm hoping we can get a break. And so the reason I bring this up is because I feel like when it comes to like motherhood, um, people are saying how hard this is. And I feel like motherhood for me has been the most humbling thing. Like, I thought that being a mom was easy because like everyone does it, right? My mom made it look easy. Um, my grandma made it look easy. A lot of the moms that I know are awesome women. They balance so many different things. And so that sounds kind of corny, but when people talk about how hard this motherhood thing is, it's true. It's the balance of being a mom and everything else. Having to take care of your kid when you're sick and they're sick. Um, Trying to balance work, having a job, having a life, your relationship, all of your relationships, any hobbies that you have, it changes the game. So there was, and I know like this has been one of the hardest things that I've ever done. This has been not easy for me at all. So, and now whenever I'm out in a grocery store or I'm out in public in a store and I see another young mom with like a baby that's much younger than mine. My son is 8 months now. So whenever I see a mom with like a newborn, I always kind of like ask like, how are you doing? Like your baby's so cute, but like, are you doing okay? Because I know how hard this is. And one time I asked this mom that and she was like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything's great. My baby sleeps through the night." And I was like, "Oh, well that's great. Like I'm not going to sit here and try and make things worse than they already are." But I just I kind of like, I know how hard it is. I know it's not easy. Even if your baby's sleeping through the night, like my son slept through the night at like 2 months old, but he was sleeping like 6 hours. If you're only getting 6 hours a night and you're already sleep deprived, like it's so hard. It's not easy. Um, I don't care how great your support system is. This is not easy stuff. So, and I'm just want to talk about this because I feel like I feel like I've been lied to my whole life. Moms are just like they just go about their business like anyway. I'm probably whining and complaining on here, but I saw another mom at the grocery store recently where I live, and she had like a 3 month old, and it was super cute. I was like, "Oh, your baby's so cute. How are you doing?" And she was like I didn't know this person from Adam, and she's kind of like launched into talking about like postpartum depression and like how she felt guilty about being a stay-at-home mom, but she also felt guilty that she didn't want to leave her kid. And like we're talking about like mom guilt and like PPD and PPA and all this stuff. And I mean, like it's so real. And I think a lot more moms probably struggle with that than like the statistics even show. Because like I lied, like when I got my survey from the doctor and they were like, "How are you feeling? Are you feeling down? How many times have you wanted to jump off a bridge this week?" Like, I lied on that survey. I was having a rough time. I wasn't honest. Because I was like, I didn't want to be honest. Like, I was not doing great. What were they going to do, you know? Um, Maybe that's the wrong answer, but I'm still sick. I've still got this cough. But where am I going with this? I guess I want to talk about how hard this is and how I just want to normalize it for people. If anyone's watching this that is going through a rough time, that's having a rough patch with motherhood, um, it doesn't mean I love my kid any less. You know, I love my man 100%. I love my baby so much. I love my life. I'm incredibly blessed, and I know that better times are ahead. Like I can feel it. I know better times are coming. But being sick as a new mom is hard. Watching your kid get sick is hard. Having to balance work and life is hard. Um, so if anyone's just saying like, "Oh, like motherhood's easy," or like, everyone does this. Like people have been doing this for years. It's so easy. It's like it's not easy. People have been breaking their backs for years. People have been um getting sick for years. Like it doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't make it any better that just because people have done this for centuries. People had much more support back in the day. People lived in bigger communities. People lived in like tribes. Like I always think about like there's hunter-gatherer societies where you have like mothers and grandmothers and aunts and uncles and relatives like all in this family taking care of this baby. And like now moms in today's world are like isolated in our little apartment somewhere. A lot of us, like myself, don't live near family. So this stuff is really difficult. Um, on the flip side of that, yes, it is difficult. I also feel like being a mom is the most rewarding, amazing thing. And while it is hard, I feel like motherhood and having children and being in a serious relationship it kind of gets a bad rap in today's world. And I feel like this is like the best thing to ever happen to me. Um, I was not expecting on having a baby. When I moved to Charleston, I was kind of like living my best life. And when I got pregnant, I kind of like was thinking, oh my gosh, my life is going to change. Well, yes, my life changed. Um, but you kind of like I was so worried about losing my freedom. Like, I can't just hop in the car now with my surfboard, go to the beach and surf for 4 hours and like go get drinks afterwards and like come home whenever. Like, I can't live at that kind of like in that spontaneous way. I can't um just like live on a whim all the time. But it's been so good for me because I feel so much more grounded now. I'm so much more relaxed. I'm so much more like I hate to say the word serious, but like I'm taking life I don't want to take life too seriously, but I'm taking myself seriously. I wasn't taking myself seriously before, which is okay, but I feel like I'm so much more responsible and grown up now after having a baby, and it's kind of made me like prioritize the things that are important. So like the things that don't really matter, um, like it's fine to have hobbies, but like my life is so much more meaningful now to me than just having a hobby. I had a lot of hobbies when I was single and carefree. I paddleboarded, I surfed, I hiked, I traveled. I had all these friends, like, and that was an amazing time in my life. I mean, it was truly amazing. I don't regret any of that. I'm so thankful for those experiences. But being a mom and having a baby, it's almost kind of like a relief to settle down a little bit. Like life has chilled out finally, and it's forced me to prioritize the things that really matter to me, and it's forced me to slow down and enjoy the moment, and it's forced me to set boundaries and like want better for myself. I think being a single person, like in the workplace per se, you kind of tend to like be the go-to person to like work late or come in early or pick up extra shifts or maybe even go to that travel contract that nobody wants to do, which is fine. But I think having a child now has forced me to set boundaries at work, and it's forced me to want better for myself. It's forced me to want better for my relationships. Like, I'm not going to settle for any toxic behavior. I'm not going to settle for even like friendships that are out of line, like stuff that I used to put up with in the past. I'm not going to put up with it now because I want better for myself and for my kid. So basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is while this motherhood stuff is really tough, I want to like acknowledge that for anyone going through it. I am not going to lie on here. I'm not going to try and pretend like I have it all together. I don't. I'm making it day by day. But I think that being a mom is like the hardest, but also the most rewarding thing. And as much as it has changed my life, it's changed it for the better. And the last thing I want to say is that you can continue to do the things you want to do and be a mom and live your life. Like I thought when I became a mom that I was going to have to like quit working out, quit surfing, quit traveling. And while those things kind of took a back burner, obviously during pregnancy, like I didn't surf when I was like 9 months pregnant. Um, running, I did run through like my whole pregnancy. I'll probably make a video on that, but there's certain things that take a back burner. There's certain things that I'm not prioritizing right now. Um, but I can still do it. And so for anyone that's like contemplating whether or not they should have a baby because of something that they want to do, I would say do both. Like it's going to be hard to balance it, but you'd be surprised how many hours you find in the day as a mom and how many hours that you're actually you don't think you're wasting time, but like you are when you have all that free time. So you can make anything happen. And I think that when you become a mom, you manage your time better. You prioritize the things that matter. And if that something is a hobby or something that you love to do, then I think you can still make time for that. You don't have to just sacrifice all your wants and needs because you have a kid. In fact, you shouldn't, because that's going to make you resentful and bitter and not a good parent. So I guess I kind of just brought up a bunch of random things in that video, but to summarize, I would say, yes, this is hard. This is like the hardest, and it does get better. I think it gets better. And even though it's difficult and it forces you to make some sacrifices, I think a lot of those sacrifices are really good things. And I think that the things that are important to you, if they really are important, that you will prioritize it and make time for it. And that shouldn't, be something that's if you really want to have a kid or if you even think you might want to have a kid, I think that, like kids get such a bad rap. I think that it's totally worth making the sacrifice. And whatever hobby it is that you have, whatever career aspiration it is that you have, I think that you can do that thing and do it better and maybe even go farther with it because of the discipline and the time management and the benefits of motherhood. So I hope that made sense. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Um, and if you are struggling or having a rough time, let me know. Reach out, talk to someone. Um, you're not alone. And I hope you have a great weekend, have a great week, and uh, thank you for watching this video.